And welcome back to the PD Football Podcast. My name is Presh.
My name is Darren.
And how are you doing?
I'm good. Tired after work as usual, but we keep going. How's everything on your end?
Look, I'm not going to pretend. We've tried to record this intro like twice now. This is fake banter for if you're listening at home. But yes, what we spoke about was this weekend I've been going through the TV shows that I couldn't get through during December because I was going through prestige movies in December.
Yeah, it's Oscar season.
Yes, and you asked, hey, what is a prestige movie? And I was saying, the Oscars are nominated in January. So November and December is the sweet spot for releasing your big movie. Or not big, I mean your Oscar play movie. So that people will... I'm not saying movies in like July aren't going to be nominated. Like I believe Sinners came out in July and it still got nominated, right? I'm just saying the majority of nominations come for movies in November and December, so
that are fresh in the mind.
Yes, it's fresh in the mind of the voters. So yeah. Anyway, so just watch my TV shows and watch the football and happy.
Yeah, that sounds like a good weekend. I mean,
The only things I didn't catch up on is Pluribus. Are you familiar with Pluribus?
No, I've never heard of it.
Do you know who Vince Gilligan is?
No.
Okay, Vince Gilligan is the creator, writer, and showrunner for Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. And Apple TV gave him lots and lots of money to make a new TV show called Pluribus on Apple TV.
Oh, okay.
Pluribus... I don't think it's as good as Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul, but I watch it and I wonder how much of money was spent on this. Every episode is just like, holy shit.
They blew the budget.
This is like, you could feed hundreds of thousands of people on the budget of Pluribus. It's crazy. I googled the budget. It's 15 million per episode.
Jeez.
There's 9 episodes, so it's just 135 million.
Is it worth it? Is the end product worth it in your eyes?
I haven't watched. The point of me bringing it up is that I haven't watched it to the end. I've only watched up till episode 6, but it's really great, and I prefer that the money not be in the hands of billionaires; it be in the hands of creators who are actually gonna, do interesting things with that money. So Vince Gilligan. He absolutely should be given 15 million an episode to do Vince Gilligan things, in my opinion.
Long live Vince Gilligan, then, I guess.
Yes. If you haven't watched his TV shows, obviously this means nothing to you, but if you do have a chance, check out Pluribus. Strong recommendation from me, even after just 6 episodes.
I mean, yeah, I would like... a lot of my friends, Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, or amongst their favorite shows. So
Better Call Saul is a top 3 TV show for me.
Is it? It's a comedy, right?
It's yeah. It walks the line between drama and comedy very
well.
Yeah, very well. So I would call it more of a drama, but yes, there's a lot of very comedic moments in Better Call Saul.
Ah, okay.
But this is a football podcast. We need to get back on our topic. First of all, starting with Leeds 0, Arsenal 4. So unfortunately, I was out of the house and missed this game. But based on the scoreline, I'm going to assume that it was a fairly straightforward exercise. Before the game, I did see... again, I was out of the house and I couldn't watch, but I was getting... what's the word? Notifications on my phone. The first thing I noticed, I was told, was that Saka is injured.
He got injured in the warm-up.
In the warm-up, yes. Replaced by Madueke. And Havertz replaced Odegaard in the... starting 11.
In the starting 11, yeah. Havertz played the 10.
So, I'm going to just let you go ahead and talk about it. When we get to the goals, I'll just chime in. What is your analysis of this
I think it was a dominant performance, like you said, pretty straightforward. I think Leeds have been in really good form recently, so I never really knew what to expect going into it. I thought we'd win. I didn't expect us to be as in control of the game as we were. I think the first half was a bit slow. I think they kind of had some moments of momentum in the first half, but We switched our pressing structure in the second half. I think went to like a 4-4-2 press, and we kind of just controlled the game in and out of possession. Then I was really happy to have Havertz back. Honestly, I think whether his long-term position is in the 10 or 9, I think the dynamics he brings to the team, the interplay, the link-up play, and the fact that he occupies defenders and frees up wingers, I think it made a huge difference. Madueke, I was surprised. He did better than I expected. Probably his best game in an Arsenal shirt all round, I'd say. So yeah, a lot of positives for Arsenal. We increased the gap, so I can't really complain. I'd say if I was complaining, it would be like nitpicky things, like we still one or two bad passing errors where like against a better team could have got punished, especially playing out from the back. But again, a change in the structure and all of that was controlled, I think. Yeah, I mean, set plays, we're still good at them. I feel like every set play feels like an opportunity. We also force set plays, which is nice. It's like teams want to avoid giving us them, but they struggle to. So as far as the game was concerned, I think a standout performer would be, strangely enough, I don't give him the credit all the time, but Gyökeres was probably the standout performer in the game.
I was waiting. Is today the day you give an apology to Gyökeres for bad-mouthing him before you even watched him play?
No, I didn't badmouth him.
Yes,
but,
you did.
I didn't.
You said he's not good enough for Arsenal.
I would say I think Havertz would be the better option, but I think both of them can play together. Maybe against not against the top opposition, because I don't think the games will play out the same way. But in and out of possession against the Leeds, particularly out of possession, I was really impressed with him. He did a lot of work. I mean, he tracked back a lot. He maintained the structure in the press. He filled in for the midfielders when they went forward a lot. So, and then he got a goal himself and an assist, I think. So,
all right. So diving into the goals, for the first one, Madueke reloads from a corner and Zubimendi heads home. Yeah. Any commentary on that?
Not really. I mean, good header by Zubimendi, good cross by Madueke. I guess. The pressure on the ball could have been better from a Leeds perspective, but at the same time, I think they were trying to hold their shape. So it's a hard one. Just bad man marking. Zubimendi, I guess, with the easy header for a player of his quality.
The second goal is an own goal from the keeper after a fizzing delivery from Madueke.
Yeah, that was very much like a Rice or Saka delivery. So hopefully, I mean, our corners, long may they continue. Long may the trend continue from our perspective. All
right. So you're an Arsenal fan, right?
Yeah.
Are you ready to have an uncomfortable conversation?
About?
Is Madueke better than Saka?
No.
Oh, why do you say that? Because
I wouldn't think what would make him be better than Saka.
He's had better output and looked more dangerous in the time that he's played he's played this season.
I don't think he's had better output necessarily.
I'm saying, so say he plays 5 games and gets 5 goals, where Saka plays 10 games and gets 8 goals. You would say, okay, Saka has more goals, but I'm saying the rate at which
but I don't think. I don't think it's uncomfortable. I still think Madueke is a good backup to Saka. I think if he was the starting option, I wouldn't be as confident with him.
Do you think perhaps start Madueke and shift Saka off to the left?
I do think that could work, because I think Madueke is not good at all from the left. I think Saka maintains a lot of his dynamics on the left, and he poses a bigger goal threat running from the left, because I guess the duty of creativity is taken off him a bit.
I see. Then we get onto the third goal. Extremely good work from Martinelli on the wing, and he delivers to Gyökeres, who powers home.
Yeah.
Well, not powers home, he just...
I mean, Martinelli did really well. Great cross, and then a good finish as well.
Not just the cross, he beat his man.
Yeah.
The guy tried to 2-foot him, and he just jumped out of the way.
Yeah, I did see. I mean, yes. Martinelli for me is like one of my favorite players. Just we'll have to see if he can hit the consistency that some of his performances, like for example, if he can replicate his performances in the last 2 or 3 weeks over a whole season, I think he solves a lot of problems for us.
For the fourth goal, some good centre forward play from Jesus and an excellent finish to cap it off.
Yeah, I mean, that was very much like one of the goals he scored when he first signed for us, so in his early days at Man City, a bit of a throwback Jesus goal. So it was nice to see. I mean, I hope everything's clicking at the right time for us. I feel like, I'm guess if there's anything I'm still critical about, it's that we don't attack centrally enough. But I think in time, if that comes at the right time, as long as we don't lose games, I'm fine with it. If we create more chances than our opponents, there's nothing you can really say. So,
So are we done here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Straightforward.
Yes. So Leeds versus Arsenal was the early game, or like one of a number of early games, right? I believe.
Yeah, there was 3 games on, I think.
Then the next time slot was Chelsea versus West Ham, which I did watch. Chelsea 3, West Ham 2.
Oh, I did actually watch a bit of this game.
So yes, this is the way I have my most notes, because
I watched the second half. I think João Pedro sensational once again. Like some.
Well, we'll get to the let's talk about the first half.
Oh, okay, I didn't watch the first half, but
Okay. Well, before the game, Liam Rosenior made 7 changes to the team that came back against Napoli in the Champions League, including Cucurella and João Pedro, giving them a rest. Right. So none of this was tactical. Rosenior said, "I'm going to rotate." Quote, "I'm going to rotate because I don't just have 11 good players. I have 22 outstanding players." So let's put a pin in that. We'll get back to that. The first, also want to say West Ham played the same team as last week against Sunderland, except for Scarles, who was replaced by Diouf, who just returned from AFCON. Have you seen Diouf play?
Yeah, I've watched a bit of Diouf, maybe like 2 or 3 games. He seems to have a good delivery on him.
I was going to say he has a wicked cross. So that's what I was looking for. You know, like a lot of these things, I'm just looking for in terms of fantasy.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, he has a wicked cross. West Ham are going to get some goals. I should, monitor him for a bit. And he hasn't gotten the output that I would like, but he's really dangerous when I see him play. Right. And I hate cliches, but this was really a game of 2 halves.
Yeah.
Right? In the first half, it was all West Ham, especially on their right-hand side. This was because Chelsea's left-back, Hutto, was inverting into midfield. Are you familiar with this?
Yeah.
Do you know what inverting into midfield means?
Yeah, he was joining the midfield play, leaving the fullback position.
Yes, so this is a relatively new tactic that we've seen in the last, I guess, 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, I mean, there's people who say it goes back older, but I guess it's been used readily.
I guess in the Premier League, I should say.
Yeah.
It's used in the Premier League the last 3 or 4 years. I think it was Emery who started doing it, and then others caught on, but whoever started, it doesn't matter. What's important is it's when a fullback shifts into midfield, then the 2 centre-backs shift over, and the other fullback, it becomes a back 3, right?
Yeah.
And that other fullback helps him out in midfield. You have an extra man when attacking, but when defending, you're supposed to drop back into the fullback position, right?
Yeah.
But Hutto just refused to drop back, and there was a huge gap at all times on Chelsea's left-hand side, West Ham's right-hand side.
Yeah, I mean, I think generally Chelsea have had problems, even under Maresca, with the inversions a bit. I think it's always the covering of the space was always a problem they had.
No, there's a difference between, I'm struggling to get back into position. This guy wasn't attempting to get back into position. Like, there's trouble coming down the wing, he's still staying in midfield. That's what I was so...
Yeah, I mean, I think he hasn't had much game time. He's still young. Not making any excuses, but I think at Ajax he didn't invert much. I watched a lot of him at Ajax, so it's like hard to do something for the first time in a real game scenario.
It's true. The commentator was blaming Garnacho for not tracking back, but I would blame Rosenior for not instructing Hutto better, in terms of inverting.
Yeah, I mean, it would come back to the manager, because I guess he hasn't played as an inverted fullback much, so he would have to have some cover from other players to do that for the first time, especially coming up against like Jared Bowen, who obviously is one of the best wingers in the Premier League. I don't think he's world class. I don't think he's world class.
We got a Jokeres apology and Jared Bowen propaganda in one episode. Gang.
No. Let's
see what else we can get him to admit.
Like, being one of the best wingers in the Premier League means he's in the top 5. In my opinion, he's in the top 5 right wingers. So doesn't necessarily mean he's world class, but I think it's one of the toughest opponents you can face. So for Jarell Hetto to come up against him in the first game and then have to invert, it's not necessarily his fault. I still like him as a fullback. As a profile, I think he's one of the best young fullbacks.
So roughly 30 minutes in, Rosenio gets what the error has made, and Hato drops back into the back line, and the other fullback, Gusto, inverts instead, right? But the damage was already done. A cross-come shot from Bowen goes in. It like fizzes in.
Yeah, I did. I saw that goal.
Yeah, a really great goal from Bowen. But it comes from the space left because Hato was inverting, I should say, and not defending properly. Also, despite this change, West Ham was still getting joy from attacking Chelsea's side, or left-hand side, right? For West Ham's second goal, Bowen is running at Hato and finds Wan-Bissaka in space. In this instance, Garnacho was to blame for not tracking Wan-Bissaka, but he puts in a cross and Somerville finishes off excellently. Every Chelsea defender except Gusto was ball watching and not making a move towards the ball. So Badiashile was particularly shocking. I was just really not impressed with Badiashile. Also, a side note, the ref cam gave us an incredible view of that goal. It was really, felt like you were right there. It was really incredible stuff. The ref cam, I like it a lot.
I do like it.
Right.
It's a good addition.
Yeah, I just have a general note here. It says Liam Delap is a thug.
Is that just your opinion?
Yeah, just this guy sickens me, bro. He's not getting good service, and he's going around bullying people, pushing them around. Just a dirty shin kicker. That's all he is, man.
Yeah, I didn't think much of him when Chelsea signed him. I didn't think much of him at Southampton either. So
he was. That's interesting because he was at Ipswich.
Was it Ipswich? Who was at Southampton? Is there another Delap?
No, his dad played for Stoke.
No, okay, I'm getting him confused with someone.
Yeah, but yeah.
Wait, did he had a good game against Arsenal last season, right? I don't know why I thought it was Sunderland instead of Ipswich.
I have no idea. I don't remember watching him a lot at Ipswich. When Ipswich played a big team, I would see him, but I didn't think it was worth it to buy him. But maybe he's just not being used correctly. There's a lot of reasons, but I just thought if you're getting frustrated and kicking people, that's you're a loser, dog. I hate you.
Yeah,
you're just a Joe Linton. You're a Ryan Yates.
I thought it was Southampton because I think we drew against them last season, but I remember maybe we drew against Ipswich as well. I'm not too sure, but I do remember that he had a really good game against us, and Chelsea signed him soon after that.
Right.
But that's I haven't watched much of him.
So Chelsea booed off at halftime. We spoke about this a few weeks ago that it doesn't happen often in English football that people are booed, but yeah, Chelsea do it quite a lot. I'm led to believe. Right?
I think Chelsea fans think they're the Real Madrid of the Premier League.
Well, I guess aside from City, they're the most decorated club of the 21st century. And
so,
actually, if you take out league titles, if you're just focusing on Champions League titles, Chelsea are the most successful English club in the 21st century.
Yeah, it depends what you look at as success. I think Man City were going to the semi-finals almost every season. So
anyway, in the second half, Rosenio replaces his entire left-hand side. Cucurella for Hato, Fofana for Badiashile, and João Pedro for Garnacho. So the three big culprits. All off. So Rosenio's in-game management, I really like it. This is the first match I've seen of the full match, We've been speaking about Chelsea, but I haven't seen their full matches. This is the first one. So far I'm okay, this is really good. And like I said, this was a game of two halves. So in the second, these changes wrestled back control for Chelsea. And further on into the game, it lets Wesley Fofana go forward and put in an excellent cross for João Pedro to header home. Two of the substitutes combining for the first goal.
Yeah, João Pedro is on his day. He's a sensational player. Probably one of the best strikers in the league, I'd say.
A lot of people are saying it's between him and Ekatike, which I think it's rude to discount both Haaland and Igor Thiago, who have
had an incredible season. I think
if we're just looking at talent, alone, then...
Ekitike is comfortably ahead of everyone, in my opinion.
Okay,
but
I was going to say João Pedro is up there, but...
I would say he's second, technically, but I don't...
Whatever the case is, he powered home a header. It was very nice. Any other things you want to say about that?
I mean, I like... I haven't seen much of Chelsea under Rosinha, but I like the aspect of his man management where he doesn't blame the players. So I think that's a bit different to Maresca. Maybe that was the one thing I didn't particularly like about Maresca, that he threw players under the bus a lot, but that's just generally an Italian thing. So it's how they coach out there, you know. I remember I've watched like some interviews of Saki, even from... I've never watched his teams, but seems like he had a thing of throwing even Maldini under the bus, so that's how you get the most out of them, I guess.
So at 2-1, Nuno puts on another defender and goes at 5 at the back, which is something I don't like. To me, it invites pressure if you go defensive.
Especially when you have a certain amount of control in the game.
It makes more sense to me to bring on an attacker to kill off the game or a midfielder to get control. Bringing on a defender, especially so early on, is very cowardly in my opinion. Like, if it's the last maybe 5-10 minutes you bring on a defender, fair enough. There was half an hour left and he brings on another defender. I'm like, this just doesn't make any sense for me.
I mean, that's always kind of been the Nuno way, you know.
Pretty much 2 minutes later, they concede a header from Cucurella, another one of the substitutes.
It was a good finish.
Yes, very good finish. Bounced off the crossbar and then he met it well. Nothing really to say about it. So Chelsea continue to pepper the West Ham goal until the 91st minute, where Enzo gets the winner.
Enzo Fernandez.
Yes.
Another Argentine player coming in form in time for the World Cup.
At this point, I'm taking off my shirt. I'm throwing it around. I'm jumping up and down because Enzo Fernandez is my fantasy team. And I was so I was pissed off that I wasn't getting any thing from him, and he scored not the last kick of the game, but very late on. And I was so happy. I was just fist pumping. What
made you keep him in?
I brought him in because Chelsea have a very good run. They're playing Wolves, Burnley, and Leeds, I think, in the next couple of games. So
nice.
Pretty easy run. Plus this game here against who do they play? Who are we even talking about? West Ham. Yes. So I thought, okay, West Ham, Burnley, Leeds, Wolves. That's an easy run. Let's get in a Chelsea player. But who to get in? Usually you would get Palmer, but Palmer is injured at the moment. He's half in, half out, so I don't want to...
A bit inconsistent in terms of his availability.
Yes, so I'd prefer to get Enzo, and he repaid my faith. So the game ends in a fight when Cucurella charges at Adama Traore, and Traore throws him to the side. This causes a commotion which ends with Todibo grabbing João Pedro by the neck, getting him a red card. Did you see this?
Yeah, I saw the fight at the end. It was just I'm not sure who should have been I don't know. It's refereeing is weird because I think João Pedro also threw a slap in the fight, or I don't know. I've seen people being sent off for that, and then I've seen people being talked to for what Todibo did. So I think
no, he put his hands around his neck.
Yeah, I mean, but at the same time, João Pedro also slapped someone and didn't get sent off.
Okay, if they didn't see that, I think that might be.
But with VAR,
I don't think VAR even checked that incident. Adama and João Pedro, I think, got yellows, and then.
Oh, so they couldn't overturn it.
I think so, but don't quote me on that. If it is a red, I think they can overturn it if it's straight red.
Yeah, so then I guess one player should have been sent off of each team.
Could be, but doesn't matter. It was the end of the game anyway. Right. So back to the pin on Rosenio's comments. What about him having 22 excellent players, right? Was it his genius substitutions that saved the game, or did he get it wrong and the backups are just shit and the better players came on and salvaged the match?
I mean, also, like you said, was it that I guess West Ham allowed them back into the game tactically a little bit in terms of maybe Nuno dropping off made the changes look more impactful than they were? I'm asking your opinion because...
No, I really think Chelsea were the ones who...
Do you think they would have swung it even with the back four?
I feel like they wrestled control. It wasn't given to them, if I put it like that. On to our next game, Liverpool versus Newcastle. Did you watch this game?
No, I was out by this time, but I did watch the highlights.
This was a late game on Saturday night.
Yeah.
Tucked in my pajamas,
What did you make of? I guess the inconsistency continues in terms of you can lose to anyone and thrash anyone, or play bad and then play exceptional. Or I don't know how the performance was. Did the performance not reflect the scoreline? Because when I watched the highlights, it seemed like it was just one-way traffic.
Well, we'll go deep dive into like patterns and etc. Topics, but I think Newcastle were just bad.
No.
They were just poor, so we walked over them. That's if I had to summarize in one sentence, that's about it. They look tired.
Yeah, I mean the squad is being stretched, and Eddie Howe's intensity doesn't help either.
So we reverted back to our regular 4-2-3-1 after the 4-2-2-2 experiment from the past few weeks. Kirkes and Konate in for Robertson and Frimpong. Frimpong injured. Robertson is not tactical. What's the word? Kirkes was given a rest midweek. That's why Robertson played. So Kirkes is just coming back into the team, right? And so it was Sabotza at right back, Konate, Van Dijk, Kirkes, pivot of Gravenberch and McAllister, and then Wirtz, Salah, Gakpo, and striker Ekitike, right? Newcastle played in a 3-4-3 against PSG, but changed back to a 4-3-3 against us with several changes. But most importantly, they didn't play with a striker. They played with 3 wings up top, Barnes, Ilanga, and Gordon. I assume to break quickly and catch us on the counter. That's one thing. And the second thing is to press us as high and aggressively as possible, where a striker wouldn't
try to force an error.
Yes, trying to force an error to press and counter press us, right? I just have some. There's not really patterns of play to talk about here, because I want to bring this up. Slot doesn't have a system, and that's very frustrating. Usually your system will generate goals.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like, push, like giving it your fullback and crossing in, that's a pattern. You know what I'm saying? Your midfield is breaking the lines so that a striker can run in behind, that's a pattern. Once you see that pattern develop over time, that's a tactic, right? I don't think Slot has any tactics. I think he just puts, a very creative player in the 10, a good striker in the striker, and he says, go do what you do best. You know what I'm saying?
Is that what you think?
Somewhat, because last season he was a lot more tactical. This season, I'm just like, what are you doing? There's a lot of times where I'm just like, the team looks out of ideas. Unless there's individual brilliance, they don't get a goal, or you know what I'm saying. So I do wonder if this is Slot's coaching is just putting the right people in the right places and saying get it done, or
I mean, I guess it's hard to say, because I think a lot of
and is that a bad thing? Is that a bad thing, putting a creative player in the 10 and putting a finisher in the striker role and saying do what you do best?
I would say it all depends on like the rest defense then, because if you're going to give a team freedom, how good those players are, how well they can read situations. For example, I guess Ancelotti with Real Madrid versus Ancelotti with Everton was like night and day. And I guess the one thing he had with Real Madrid was that the players could be trusted to interpret the moments within the game. They could manage the game themselves. You had some of the best players in the history of the game. So
it could be that Slot has changed over the 2 years. In the first year, he wasn't so. You didn't want to give them freedom. In the second year, he trusts them a little bit more, so he does give them freedom.
Do you think the profiles justify that? Or do you think the profiles justify... Because, like you were saying, like the one thing I like personally about Arteta at Arsenal is that I think the system carries the players, like, more than the players carry the system. I don't think the players, that's my personal opinion, I don't necessarily think
Definitely
Arsenal's
disagree
players,
with that.
I don't think Arsenal's players would be better with more freedom, because I've seen a lot of them with more freedom. Not this particular squad, but I've seen the types of profiles we've signed. Given the freedom and given structure, they've generally been better with structure. I think that's my opinion. So, like, do the profiles justify Liverpool having or Slot?
Because honestly, this Ekitike and Wirtz pick and roll has been it's changing my life, because watching them play every week is such a sweet experience.
Ekitike is insane.
We'll get to the goals just now, but what a player.
Yeah.
So before that, in the first half, Newcastle did a layoff free kick, which we were speaking about these past couple of weeks, and they nearly scored. They hit the post from that, which I thought, once again, it's working. I just don't see why more people don't use the layoff free kick. But yeah, Newcastle's goal comes from Kirkes not being tight enough to Gordon. Another example of his poor defending, but it was also a great finish by Anthony Gordon. So, tough to blame. It's 50-50.
It's 50-50. It's like you're nitpicking at that point.
No, but I mean, if he was tighter, Gordon wouldn't have the space to take that shot. You get what I'm saying?
I mean, I guess it's also like what is the player's interpretation of the moment, because it's hard to read the player's mind. Like, I think a lot of times, particularly with the bigger teams, the players are thinking about the attacking move, even if they are defending.
So Liverpool's first goal is just ingenuity from Wirtz and a fine finish from Ekatike.
Yeah.
Wirtz drifts into the area, puts not a cross, but like, what is it called? Like just a pass in the area, and Ekatike finishes off really excellently with the outside of the boot.
Yeah, I saw that one. I saw both the goals. Both Ekatike's goals, I think.
Alright, for the second goal, we caught them in transition. Kirkes plays a fast ball into space. Ekatike picks it up, and then he just does an unreal finish.
That was a very the whole movement from like switching his butt. Again, I think I watched an interview with him when he was at Frankfurt, and he said his idol was Thierry Henry, and that's becoming more and more evident every day.
I don't think that's true.
Why would you say that?
Because he's 22.
Yeah, I mean, you can still have idols who are...
Yeah, but like that would be me being like, oh, my idol is like somebody who played in the 90s.
You could still watch, like, you could still grow up idolizing. It's like,
could, but
like as a player...
I saw a video of him and they asked him, who is your idol? And he said Karim Benzema, which makes a lot more sense for his age range.
But I don't think
he said two names. He said Karim Benzema and he said Neymar Jr.
Maybe Neymar, yeah. But I do recall him like in the Frankfurt days.
Maybe he did say that,
well,
but I also saw this video of him saying Neymar and Benzema as his idols. But whatever the case is, he could just be saying that now because he doesn't want to big up Arsenal. Could be,
but I mean I don't necessarily think it's like something where you had to have watched the player play for them to, from a playing perspective, be your idol. I think like a lot of players will be influenced by players that they never, like Messi's clearly influenced by Maradona, but he never watched him play. So
but I'm just thinking his age doesn't correlate with watching Henry week to week.
But I think
he plays similar to him. I understand that, but anyway, you were saying?
I think just in a coaching context, could have been made to watch clips of Henry a lot.
Okay, that's true. That could be the case. The next goal, Florian Wirtz. It's a very lazy pass out from the back line. Gakpo not intercepts because they pass it right to him. Gratefully accepted it. Oh. He gratefully accepted a pass directly to him.
The stats will record it as an interception, but it wasn't.
He passed it to Wirtz. Wirtz passes it to Salah. Salah has no space. Passes it back to Wirtz in the middle of the goal. Wirtz scores. Now, is this a pattern where if a winger can't beat their man to pass it to the middle and then the person in the middle shoots? Is that a pattern, or is it showing that our wingers are shit?
A pattern would be if it's repetitive. It doesn't necessarily have to like look... Like, I guess when you're watching like a Guardiola team, patterns would be very much evident. Like with the Ancelotti team, they'd be less evident. But for example, I keep going back to Ancelotti because he's probably the main example of a manager who's succeeded while giving players freedom.
Vibes football.
Yeah, vibes football. Well, I mean, I guess Arsene Wenger too. But again, I
Ancelotti, yes, you were saying
Ancelotti's the peak for me. But yeah, so. The way he got the dynamic between Vinicius and Rodrigo consistently in big games, it wouldn't necessarily be something that looked the same from week to week. For example, Vinicius wasn't always attacking the space in the same manner against Man City as he would against Liverpool. The spaces would be different, but Vinicius was constantly getting runs one-on-one at goal, no matter who he was playing under Ancelotti, and he's not getting that now. So that could still be seen as a pattern, perceptibly, if you're giving players... Like, if you're saying the pick and roll is consistently coming off with Wirtz and Ekitike, then it's a pattern that's developing. The players are developing.
Or is that just individual brilliance?
You could say that, but if it happens every week, then the coach is a part of it. Because at the end of the day, it's like I have my qualms with Arsene Wenger. I think he could have done better, and I think at a certain period of his career he overachieved. So I think like the freedom he gave Dennis Bergkamp and Thierry Henry made them reach levels that they didn't reach previously in their career, because they were both regarded as two players who weren't performing when Arsenal signed them, who were, what is the word,
inconsistent,
hadn't fulfilled their potential. Yeah,
sure. Back to the game. The final goal was scored by a header from Konate, which, like we mentioned last week, there's a plane going overhead. Let's just wait for this. I'll cut this out, don't worry. There's not just going to be us being quiet and then a plane going overhead. Alright, sorry. We were saying Konate scored, and it was a very emotional moment. We spoke about it the other day, but his father passed away. And I'm sure, obviously, scoring a goal isn't going to bring his father back, but it was a very touching moment. The whole team went over and hugged him, and Alisson ran from the opposing goal all the way to that side and gave him a big hug.
Yeah, big up to him to have the strength to play. I know if that happened to me, I would be out for months maybe.
And do you want to hear the disgraceful reason he was playing?
Why?
Because we are going through a injury crisis. And Konate said he saw that we were in such a bad place and came back early to help the team.
Big ups to him.
Yes.
Big ups to him.
Big ups to him in terms of Liverpool, but in terms of you should take care of yourself if you're feeling grief, or, that doesn't just go for him. That goes for everyone listening. Everyone, take care of yourself.
Yeah, health comes first,
Yes. It's a good thing that Konate did for us. I appreciate that, but you should take care of yourself. If you're not feeling right, speak to somebody, right? Are we done with this?
I guess that includes mental health as well, at least on that angle.
That's what I was speaking about.
Yeah.
But yes, okay. You want to speak about it?
No. I mean, we'll speak about that some other day. I'm just saying, I think a lot of footballers, a lot of men in general, we're told to suppress what we're feeling. I do it a lot, so
that's why. That's why I said Konate. Not Konate. Anyone listening, please, if you need help, speak out. There's people who love you, and if not, there's people who care out there somewhere. So
yeah, I mean, the one thing I wanted to get from you in relation to Liverpool before we move on is now you're saying this whole pick and roll is developing, because I guess the question about structure versus freedom does the first part of my question would be, what benefits Wirtz more? Because the last month or so he's been one of the best players, not in my opinion in Europe, not just in the Premier League. In terms of the chances he's created, I think only Lamine has created more in the last month. So does, with Isak coming back in, what's the dynamic with the three of them? Do you think you can fit all three of them into the same team, or again, Wirtz benefited at Leverkusen from a structure, but the entire team was centered around him, and he didn't really have to do much. The whole team worked for him. So I'm saying, what do you think is the way forward? Because you have three players that are undoubtedly that will be in the next 10 years amongst the three best players in the world, assuming that Isak gets back to his nominal form. So what do you think is the approach Slot should go for? Should he give the three of them all freedom?
We've spoken about this many times, actually, off pod. So I just want to let the people know, right? I believe we should be playing a 4-4-2 diamond, right? Yeah. In midfield, we have Gravenberch, actually, new CDM.
Just on that, I would say that's something Arsenal did yesterday. We actually, in the second half, we went into a 4-4-2 with the diamond. Not the same profiles, but I think Arteta was trying to narrow the pitch and bring two strikers into play a bit.
I do think, based on the personnel that we have, that's what makes the most sense. New defensive midfield at the base. We have several eights that can do a good job in the eights. McAllister, Gravenberch, Szoboszlai, Jones. 4 players for 2 slots. I think that's perfect. Florian Wirtz as the 10. The thing is,
how much do you want the team to cover him? Do you want it to be like Leverkusen? Because I noticed at Leverkusen, I was watching back a couple of their clips in the week about Rabbi Alonso to get a touch, and it seemed like he didn't have much defensive work except off of goal kicks at Leverkusen. Other than that, the counter pressing off of goal kicks, he was pretty much covered by the team.
He is deceptively good at ground.
Yeah, he is exceptional. Like, it's hard to get the ball off him. Even like
if
his
he's
feet.
running to you and the ball is in the middle, he's probably going to get it. And
Yeah.
not because he's faster, or I think he's just cleverer in certain
in the way he
instances.
uses his strength, and he has strong calves. Like, when he plants his foot, it's really hard to shift him.
Yeah. So to answer you, I think he should be given utmost freedom. Yeah, an old school 10, given the freedom to just roam.
So he's the player that the team should be built around.
You know, we were speaking about Guardiola giving people freedom. It's only certain guys that are allowed that freedom, and I think Wirtz is one of those guys. That, in fact, I believe Wirtz was going to be the successor to KDB until we bought him before City got in. So, I think that makes sense. But yes, he deserves a lot of freedom. But Ekatike, the way he's playing, it's like, do you even need a creator?
Yeah,
he's making things out of nothing. Isaac, on the other hand,
he's only 22.
Yes.
Please.
Isaac, on the other hand, needs a creator. He struggles without service in the box. So I think he's the one who would benefit the most from Wirtz being free.
So you're saying Isak stays on the last line and Wirtz and Ekitike have the freedom and creativity, or I guess the freedom of the attacking creativity to be the...
Well, this assumes that both Salah and Gakpo,
are moved on. Yeah, I mean, we're assuming Salah's going to move on. I don't think he's going to be here beyond the season.
Yeah. So those are my thoughts. Any other things you want to bring up?
No, I mean, just still, like Ekitike, every week he's becoming my favorite player in the Premier League. So
I love how jealousy makes everyone.
I'm not. Jealous as like I wish we had him in our team, but
that's the sense.
For football, I couldn't be happier to have another player like that. Like when we were saying those sorts of talents, like I really enjoy watching Lamine and Pedri because they a bit of like players who can turn the momentum of games on their own. And in a lot of ways, because football has become more structure based, you don't have that anymore. And I think he's like a throwback. He can dictate games on his own,
especially from striker. That's a very unique trait.
I see him becoming more of an Henry type of player, honestly. Like, I see him playing between the 9 and the 10 more than being a pure 9, or like obviously he wasn't signed as a pure 10, but his creative output, I think, is very underrated. That's something we didn't see at Frankfurt, but his ability to dribble and pass with having better players around him is becoming more apparent now.
All right. So our next topic is Man United 3, Fulham 2. Now, before we speak about that, I just want to say, do you know who I hate?
Who?
That guy with the hair. Do you know the guy? He's not going to cut his hair until United win 5 in a row. That guy pisses me off.
Who is that guy?
Yeah,
is he a
it doesn't
YouTuber?
matter. It doesn't matter. He's just some guy. And you know what? He's an attention seeker. That's what he is, right? He's not a proper Man United fan. He did this when United were at an all-time low, when Ruben Amorim was at the wheel. And this guy, apparently he's getting sponsorships now for like hair care treatments and stuff. And I'm like, my cousin said, oh, he's a marketing genius. I'm like, no, this guy needs to get a job, get a real job. He
hit the lotto.
This guy, I cannot believe it. Get a job, sir. Get a job. Anyway, my bad. I just wanted to say that before we get into the analysis.
Before we get a job ourselves.
No, I mean, this guy, I hope they win 5 in a row so he can just fuck off. I never want to see this guy again, bruh. I hate him. Anyway.
If they win 5 in a row, he's gonna stay bald until they win the next 5 in a row.
He's gonna come up with some scheme. I know it. I hate that guy, bruh. But yeah,
he's gonna shave his balls every day on camera.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So it's not that I didn't see this game. I missed the first half. So And I watched the highlights, but yes, you want to say anything?
Nothing much. I didn't watch the game either. Just saw the highlights. Pretty much the same.
All right, so let's just talk about the goals. First one, Bruno Fernandes puts a lofted ball in. Casemiro headers home. The talk this week is that Casemiro is back.
I hope they give him a new contract.
Bruh, it's Fulham. It's Fulham. Can we just sit down, relax, and just understand that it's Fulham? You know, they understand that they give you a good game, but they're not great. This is not a Champions League level club. Can we agree to that? I'm not being rude or mean or anything by saying Fulham are not a Champions League level club.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they're just going off the high that they've...
No, I've seen this in the media. I've seen people saying Casemiro is back. Jamie Carragher apologizing to Casemiro. Yeah. I
mean, he's a big name. I guess it's also like the media is trying to get their views up too, you know.
I guess, but I totally disagree with that. And they're saying it because he scored a header. And
I mean, what would Casemiro being back mean anyway? Because I think the context of Casemiro, like, are they expecting him to be a one-man midfield? I don't ever think he was that. Let's not forget he played alongside two of the greatest midfielders of all time. So
that's true. I guess in a big game, he needs to break some guys.
Yeah, he's a destroyer profile.
Did he do that in the Arsenal and Man City games?
He was good against us. Like, in terms of, I think he broke up play a lot, and he recycled the ball to Bruno Fernandes as much as he could. But the question with Casemiro is, what are you expecting out of him? Like Bruno Fernandes, he's one of the best midfielders in the world, but he's not Kroos or Modric. He's not a one-man midfield. So Casemiro, when he was regarded as one of the best midfielders of his generation, played alongside two guys who are capable of being a one-man midfield. It's not the same. I don't ever think Casemiro was like this player who was the greatest of his generation.
All right. The second goal is just a fantastic finish from Cunha.
Yeah. Second week running.
Nothing really to say about it. Just when somebody hits one like that, you just got to stand up and applaud.
I heard in the Brazilian squad they call him the Englishman because of how he controls the ball and runs.
Oh. That's weird. Cunha, huh? Who's only he came to Wolves like 3 years ago?
Yeah, he's been, I think Ancelotti likes him, or whoever was there, Denise was there before Ancelotti, they seem to like him.
Alright. Fulham draw one back with the Raul Jimenez penalty. I don't recall, the highlights didn't show how they got the penalty. So I can't say whether it was deserved or, you know, a bullshit penalty or whatever, but Jimenez puts it away with a plum, and it's 2-1. Thoughts?
I mean, Jimenez, I think he was one of my favorite players before his injury, and good to see him scoring. Nothing much else to add.
And then Kevin, we all know Kevin, that it's like Madonna, Usher, Beyonce. Kevin, we all know Kevin.
Kevin.
Yeah, Kevin scored a wonder goal. I don't know why I'm dissing him, why I'm making fun, but he scored such a wonderful goal. Curler, Lamens was beat. Actually, I should bring this up. When Raul Jimenez scored the penalty, Lamens gave him a tap on the back and smiled because it was like, that's how good the penalty was.
I think this season we've seen a lot of wonder goals. At least, I mean, in the last month.
Mm-hmm.
But
speaking of, we'll get to one just now, but put a pin in that. Yeah. And Kevin thinks he's not won the game. He's drawn the game, and Fulham have got a point away at Old Trafford.
Oh yeah, both the last goals were scored in stoppage time, right?
Yes. Yeah. There was like 9 minutes or maybe 10 minutes of stoppage time.
This weekend I saw a lot of games with 9, 10, 11 minutes.
We should be having that, because if there's time wasters in this league, bro, we need to.
I get that, but I'm saying, why weren't they doing it in the first half of the season? Did they revert back to like the rules they had last season?
Certain games just have a lot. Certain games don't have a lot. Like, it depends on the ref, depends on the dynamics of the game, that kind of thing.
because which game? Okay, no, we'll talk about that later.
Yes, the final goal. Bruno Fernandes he wriggles through I can't remember right now, but like he gets free, puts in a really good cross. Sesko controls it, turns, hits it first time. Not first time because he controls it. He hits it, goes in, crowd goes wild. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Bruno Fernandes, what can you say? He's one of the best players in the world.
Magician.
Yeah.
Very good player. But yeah, that's all we have to say about United Fulham. Not really any deep analysis. We both didn't watch the game.
I mean, 3 wins in a row for United, back in the Champions League spot. So if you're a United fan, I guess good for you.
Yeah. Then finally we get to the Spurs Man City game. Do you want to speak about that?
Yeah, I watched this game. What people like, I guess, from a footballing standpoint and drama entertainment wise, was probably the game of the weekend. I wouldn't say in footballing terms it was the best game, but
well, you know how I hate cliches.
Yeah,
but this was a game of 2 halves.
It was literally I think like Tottenham was shockingly bad in the first half, and when Man City went 2-0 up, I mean, I thought this is going to be 6 or 7. Like it could have been 6 or 7 in the first half.
Well, that's what the commentators, the halftime presenters were saying. They were like, it just doesn't feel right the way Spurs are playing. Like they were trying to accuse them of, like, you know, not showing up.
I mean, the Semenyo goal was like shocking. It like the clearance from Dragusin straight to the feet of Rodri. Then there's absolutely no one near Rodri. Rodri makes a pass. I can't remember who it was. I think Bernardo, and Bernardo's also unmarked. He runs with the ball like 3 or 4 yards. Absolutely no pressure, and Semenyo's also unmarked.
So the accusation is that Arsenal are Spurs' ops, right?
Yeah.
So Spurs need to take a dive against Man City to help City get at Arsenal, right? But they made a mistake by coming back. There was too much momentum. They had too much on the side, and they just... Okay, so let's start from the beginning-ish. The first goal was Haaland plays like a 1-2 with Cherki. And Cherki scores through the legs. Essentially the same goal that Anthony Gordon scored against Liverpool.
Yeah, a bit of a deflection as well.
Very much Cherki plays it through the legs of somebody, I think it was Dragusin.
Yeah.
And he goes through. And yes. Thoughts?
I mean, I think Cherki is a very exciting player, particularly in possession. So he had a bit of an argument with Pep that he didn't want to get subbed off, or he was injured. Pep wanted to sub him off. He wanted to continue. Then he ended up getting injured. So
yes,
I guess just listen to Pep.
Then for the second goal, Semenyo scored. I cannot recall the dynamics around it, but Semenyo scored a very good goal.
I mean, it was a good finish, but just like I said, Dragusin clears the ball. Horrible clearance right at the feet of Rodri. Rodri has absolutely no pressure on him. Plays it to Bernardo. Bernardo runs with no pressure. Passes to Semenyo. Also has no pressure on him. Just, it was like they could have. It would have been the same as playing against no one. That second goal. It was literally like a training drill where I guess the coach was telling the defenders to not attack the ball and not put pressure on the ball. Good finish from Semenyo though.
So then in the second half, Thomas Frank Paulinho was already there, but he shifts him to centre back.
He shifts him to centre back, right?
Yes, he was in midfield. He shifts to
back 4. Sorry, yes.
He was in midfield. He shifts him into centre back. I think Romero comes off.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yes, Romero. I think Romero did come off. Yes.
This is bad analysis from us because I didn't write this shit down.
Yeah.
But yes, because you watched the game, so I'm like, yo, Darren will know, it's fine.
No. Romero is the one who came off.
Yeah, yes. So he took off a centre back, and Paulinho at centre back just had an unreal game. I thought he was so influential, even from centre back, which is very difficult to influence the game from there. But I thought he was really good.
I mean, he's like a.
So let's talk about Spurs' first goal.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's the big controversy that came out of the game, I guess, post-match. at least in the interviews, whether it was a foul, not a foul on Gueye.
I think.
What did you make of it?
No, I don't think it was a foul. I think that's a fair goal.
Yeah, me too.
That's really it. I think City would just make a big deal out of nothing.
Yeah.
And just the arguments in the post-game threads and Reddit and stuff, they were bringing that up. But the thing that I didn't really see brought up, it was only brought up in response to people, but Rodri should have gotten a red card.
He should have, yeah, for those 2 yellows.
He has the same Casemiro thing that Casemiro had at Madrid, where the referees are allergic to giving them red cards. They can get away with anything.
Yeah, a bit like Joe Linton as well.
Nah, Joe Linton is just a thug.
Yeah, but how many times have you seen him sent off for his thuggery?
It's true, but I have seen him sent off. Like the other two, it's very rare. But anyway, we're getting distracted.
Yeah.
Spurs' second goal. Conor Gallagher does a strong run down not the wing, but the half space, puts in a cross, and goal of the season contender from Dominic Solanke.
Olivier Giroud-esque.
Giroud-esque. Scores a scorpion kick in one of the biggest matches of the season. Incredible stuff. I really...
yeah, and I mean, to beat Donnarumma, one of the best, I guess, shot stoppers as well, was yeah, it will be hard to find a better goal this season, I think.
Yeah, especially the context surrounding it.
Yeah, how much...
it could be a major title...
swinging goal,
goal, yes.
So, I mean, Dominic Solanke, ex-Liverpool boy, what do you make of him?
I don't rate him. I think he's...
I mean, it depends. Do you rate him for a smaller team, or do you don't rate him for Liverpool?
Even at Bournemouth, I thought he was just like a flat track bully. He would score against all the smaller teams, and then the big games he just wouldn't show up. I guess he scored 2 goals against City, so I can't level that at him right now. But I'm just not impressed with him. That being said, Spurs' results have turned around since he's come back from injury. So maybe
I guess it gives him a target man. The way Frank plays, it's a lot of long balls to escape the press. So they would be more dynamic with a player like that in the team. Tottenham, though, what do you make of Tottenham? The contradiction from their Champions League to league form.
I think, is there a contradiction, or has the league become so good that we're the Super League and the Champions League teams can't compare anymore?
I mean, it just depends, though, because I think
because people are pointing out Jeremy Pino played for Villarreal, right? Villarreal are a Champions League team, and he is now playing for Palace, who are a lower mid-table team.
Yeah, I mean, it all depends on how you interpret it, but I think it's not like they've had I think the teams that they've beat, some of them are still would be Champions League level teams, even if they played in the Premier League. Inter Milan, for example. I think Inter Milan are top 4 team in the Premier League.
Didn't Arsenal beat Inter?
Yeah.
And we beat Inter.
Yeah, that doesn't mean they're not a top 4 team.
If Arsenal, Spurs, and us beat Inter,
Yeah, I mean, they still finished in the...
It's not looking good, bruv.
Who else did they beat? I didn't watch their run, but surely they had to have beaten some big teams to finish in the top 5.
Sure. I just don't rate Spurs at the moment. They're going through a bad patch, but it's not just a bad patch in terms of results. It's the gameplay. If you're playing well, and we can see you're playing well, but the results aren't coming right, that's fine. The results will eventually come. But if you're playing poorly and still not getting results, I think that's sacking territory.
Yeah, I mean, I think Thomas Frank isn't going to survive much beyond the season. I think, regardless of what happens, I don't think they're going to get back into the Champions League next season. Maybe they'll get relegated this season and win the Champions League.
Highly unlikely, although I'm sure that's what you would want as an Arsenal fan. I mean, not winning the Champions League, but them getting relegated, that would be pretty funny.
Oh, no. I don't I've said my most hated team is Chelsea, not Tottenham, so...
And also, for me, let's say I'm speaking about Everton. Everton getting relegated would be a disaster. Because we need them. We need them to have a rivalry. Otherwise, what are we doing?
Yeah,
I mean, not what we're doing. Like, it'll just be sad. Like, when Sunderland was in the championship for so long, Newcastle did have
a rival.
A rival, yeah. It's sad to be a big team with no rival.
It is. I mean, you need your rivals.
Excuse me.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. I don't think it'll be interesting. I mean, I'm sure we'll discuss it at a later stage, but to see what happens with the managerial merry-go-round in the off-season, because Simeone is also leaving Atletico now, so...
Is that confirmed? Or is that just a rumor?
I think it's a rumor from but the sources that are coming out are usually trusted sources, so we'll have to see.
All right.
I'm pretty sure if he leaves, he's coming to the Premier League as well. So.
Okay, let's get into the miscellaneous section. This is the other games that we didn't have time to cover.
That weren't the main focus.
Yeah, so we'll just some quick hits. Quick. So quick. Right. Wolves 0, Bournemouth 2. So, by the way, I've watched the highlights for all of these. I didn't have time to watch every game because they were at the same times as the other. So, like, these games happened. I think Wolves, Bournemouth, and Brighton, Everton were the same time as Leeds, Arsenal, and Aston Villa, Brentford, Nottingham Forest, Palace was at the same time as the United game. So all four of these games I couldn't watch, right? Wolves had all the chances but weren't clinical, right? Bournemouth, extremely clinical. Krupi Jr. with an excellent finish and an Alex Scott tap-in. That was the story of the game.
Krupi's looked decent. I haven't watched much of him before, but since I've seen him at Bournemouth, he looks quite good.
Mm-hmm.
Played well against us, came off the bench, scored a cracker as well.
So the exact same game state, but for the next game, Brighton 1, Everton 0. So Everton had a number of good chances, but weren't clinical enough. Same
and Brighton
as Wolves.
were extremely clinical.
Brighton scored against the run of play. Totally against the run of play. Based on the highlights I saw, it was just all Everton and then one Brighton attack they score.
It happens.
So yeah. Then a 97th minute equalizer from Beto. And Moyes runs onto the pitch and gets a yellow.
Oh yes, wait, I think I did see the Beto equalizer because it came on the match pack at the end of the game.
But I thought it was pretty disgraceful for Moyes to get a yellow card for running onto the pitch. You take the spontaneity, the joy out of football,
Yeah, I think, what is it? De Zerbi also got a yellow card.
Klopp also did.
Arteta has as well.
Lots of people have done. But I just think it's a disgrace, whoever it is. Moyes, showing a little bit of personality, a little bit of,
there's nothing wrong
joy.
with it.
There's nothing wrong with it. And it's not like, another silly thing I think is a player taking off their shirt to get a yellow card. Understand if you have, they're trying to discourage you from sharing a message underneath your shirt, or, that something may not be kosher, something political, like you may put on your shirt. So they want to discourage that. Similarly, I don't think you should discourage managers, celebrating and being joyous, and that's a part of the game. That's the best part of the game.
Yeah, I think managers, players, I think people need to also think of football as at least from the fans' perspective. You watch it most people for an escape, right? Or to I guess something to give your life some sense of purpose, maybe. But I don't think everyone wants to engage with football where it's too professional and it feels like, oh, okay, you're losing the humanity, I guess, from the game.
Aston Villa 0, Brentford 1. Aston Villa lose 1-0 to 10 men Brentford. So Brentford, Kevin Schade gets an extremely silly red card. When two players go down together and they're getting up, he kind of kicks out. He kicks out at Matty Cash.
Oh yes, I saw that.
And he got a red card for it.
Can't blame him. I'd have done the same to Matty Cash.
What did Matty Cash do to you?
Scores against us every single time he plays against us.
Okay, whatever. Matty Cash.
I'm kidding though. I don't condone violence.
It's just such a silly red card. You're just being petulant. That's all it is. Very. Very silly. Yeah. Then there's an extremely sleek finish from Utara to win the game. And Aston Villa, I didn't see anything from them in the highlights that showed any fight, any vigor.
I mean, yeah, this is. You already know what I'm gonna say.
Emery is a bum.
No, he's not a bum, but he's heading for 5th place again. That's how his seasons generally go.
Okay.
I mean, I heard. I don't know if it's a trustworthy rumor, that one, but I heard that Real Madrid might be considering him. I think they'd be a very stupid decision from them.
Okay, so we got a Jokeres apology. Something else we got, but we couldn't get a good word on Emery, could we?
No. I think I'll give a good word on him. I think he's probably like one of the best squad developers of taking a team from a low level to the borderline of an elite level, but he's not good at converting it.
Our final game, well, this is not our final game. Our final game is actually being played 2 hours from the time of recording.
Yeah.
It's tonight, but we're not covering that. What we are covering is Nottingham Forest 1, Crystal Palace 1. So a ball comes in the area, Palace didn't clear properly, and Morgan Gibbs-White finishes nicely for
I love
Forest.
I love Gibbs-White. He's one of my favorite players in the league, honestly. I would really, if I had to select, everyone always talks about if Arsenal should move on from Odegaard, I would select him as
Gibbs-White.
my number one choice. Yeah.
Wow, I just disagree entirely.
We can agree to disagree on
Sure.
that one. He's one of my favorite players, though.
So for Palace's goal, Nico Williams handled the ball and got a red card and gave away a penalty. So basically, what Suarez did at the 2010 World Cup against Ghana, he just played goalkeeper for
Out of desperation.
and gave them a penalty. You would rather just concede the goal than get a red card and a penalty. Now you've given them both a goal and to play against 10 men. Just a goal on its own you can come back from. But I guess it's like, instinct. You just put your hand out. You don't know what to do. But yeah, Ismail Assar converts the penalty very nicely, and that's all we have today.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good weekend for me, personally, as an Arsenal fan. It was also probably a good weekend for you, so let's hope things get better.
Alright, well, thank you for listening. Please remember to rate, review, subscribe, give a like, etc.
Comment, tell your friends to tell their friends.
Okay, importantly, it needs to be a 5-star review. You can find all our links at pdfootball.com. That's pdfootball.com. Please tell a friend, tell that friend to tell a friend, tell a family member. Yeah, goodbye.
Goodbye.